Your snake plant is not dying, and it's not bored, and it definitely isn't cursed no matter what it feels like some days. There's one thing sitting in your kitchen right now that unlocks growth plain water alone simply cannot trigger. And once you see why it works, you'll wonder why nobody bottled this and sold it to you years ago. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much to use, how often, and the one mistake that turns this trick from a fix into a disaster. And if tricks like this are exactly your thing, go ahead and subscribe now, because there's a lot more where this came from. The real problem: most snake plants that stall out aren't struggling because of light or watering schedule, even though that's where almost everyone looks first. The real issue is usually something building up quietly in the soil over months of regular watering, especially with ordinary tap water. That buildup slowly shifts the soil away from what a snake plant actually wants, and no amount of extra sunlight fixes it. Once you understand what's happening underground, the fix is almost embarrassingly simple. So, how do you tell if this is actually your problem? Well, before trying this, look closely at the soil surface. A white or yellowish crust forming near the pot's edge is mineral deposit left behind by your water, and it's a strong sign that this trick will help. If the leaves have gone pale or grayish rather than staying deep green, and new growth has slowed to almost nothing despite decent light, that combination points to the same root cause. Not every stalled snake plant has this issue, but a huge number of them do. Here's a quick reminder: if this is already explaining something about your own plant, hit subscribe now so you don't miss the next one. So, why does lemon juice actually work? Well, snake plants naturally prefer soil on the lighter acidic side, but most tap water, especially hard water, is mildly alkaline and leaves mineral deposits behind with every watering. Over months, that pushes the soil the wrong way and effectively locks up nutrients that are technically still there but that the roots can no longer absorb, even if you're fertilizing on schedule. A small amount of lemon juice nudges the water back towards slightly acidic, which helps release those locked nutrients again. Plus, it adds a trace of natural micronutrients from the citrus itself. It isn't magic, it's chemistry, and it's the same principles serious growers have leaned on for years. The exact method? You squeeze the juice of a half lemon into a full watering can of room temperature water, stir it well, and water the plant exactly as you normally would. Do this once every 3 to 4 weeks, not every single watering, since this is a periodic correction rather than a replacement for plain water. Pour it at the base and try to avoid splashing the leaves themselves, since the acid can leave marks if it sits on the foliage too long. That's genuinely the whole method. No complicated ratios, no special equipment. If you've been blaming your plant's light for this the whole time, subscribe now. This channel exists to fix exactly that kind of confusion. Does the water you use change this? Well, if you've already watered with filtered or distilled water, you might wonder if you even need this trick, and honestly, probably less than someone on hard tap water. But it can still help. Distilled and reverse osmosis water sits closer to neutral rather than acidic, so even filtered water users can see some benefit from nudging things slightly acidic every few weeks. If you're on well water or already notice minerals straining on your containers, this trick matters even more for you specifically. So what can you actually expect? Well, this isn't an overnight fix, so don't expect a dramatic change after one watering. Give it about 4 to 6 weeks of consistent use, and you should start to notice new leaves pushing up straighter than before, along with a visibly deeper green on foliage that had gone dull or pale. It's a slow correction happening underground, which is exactly why so many people miss it and blame the wrong thing entirely. Almost there. If this is the first time anyone's actually explained why your plant stalled, subscribing means you catch the next one too. Okay, so now the mistake that ruins it. The biggest way people wreck this trick is overdoing it, using it every single watering instead of every few weeks, which pushes the soil too acidic and starts damaging the roots instead of helping them. The second mistake is pouring it in undiluted or too concentrated, which can burn delicate root tissue almost immediately. And this matters too. This trick corrects soil chemistry. It does not replace an actual fertilizer schedule, so your plant still needs real nutrients on top of this. One more thing that makes this work faster: pair this trick with bright indirect light and soil that actually drains well, because a snake plant sitting in dim light or soggy soil won't respond nearly as dramatically, even with perfect water chemistry. Get those two things right alongside this trick, and you're giving your plant everything it needs to push out that next round of strong, deep green growth. So, that's the exact trick that turns a stalled out snake plant into one that's actually pushing new growth, using nothing but something you already have in your kitchen. Tell me in the comments if your snake plant has been stuck like this, and whether you're trying this tonight. Subscribing means you catch every one of these tested tricks the moment they go up.